your life took a kind of at least I wouldn't have been able to predict it, but it took a completely different turn where all of a sudden you found yourself starting a whole new company in a completely different field. So tell me about that transition.
Yeah. So honestly, just before I quit, but before I signed my resignation in BlackBerry, I was at one of the airports in Europe. I don't recall which one it was, and I had a little bit of time before my next flight went off, and I read a book. Or I didn't read the book, but I saw it on in the shelf, and I took it out and I read the overview of the book, and the book was called the 5 reasons people regret most before they die.
Mm.
And it was written by a nurse who did over 1,000 interviews with dying people. And they asked them, like, if you could live your life again, what would you do differently? And then she came up with the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember reading the top 3, and top 1 was, I would have lived my life braver and do more what I really want to do rather than what other people expect me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 was spend more time with family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3 was work less.
Mm.
And I read those 3 things, and I don't remember number 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember that I knew if I continue my life as it was, I would regret the exact same things when I'm in my dying bed.
Mm.
So I had to take action. I had to do something because I know, if I know it already that I regret it, I can't continue anymore.
Mm.
And the same day, I think I wrote my letter to my boss and sent the resignation. And then after that, I read another article. Actually, I traveled a lot when I left BlackBerry. I went to Thailand for 6 weeks the same day actually when I left, just to calm down a little bit and to get my adrenaline to a normal level.
Mm-hmm.
And I read a lot of books, and I also read something about hospice work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was totally touched by this topic, and that people are accompanying others when they are when in their last days or last weeks. And I read an article about somebody who is a voluntary hospice worker, and it touched me. I was so moved by this, which I don't really know that feeling, that I have so strong emotions
Mm-hmm.
towards something.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I had to dig deeper into that field, and I did. And I found out that there's actually a training you can undergo. It takes a year. And you can become a hospice worker. And I took that training in Munich, and I became a hospice worker, and I did my voluntary hospice work for the last 4 years. And within those 4 years, I always went home to people who are in the dying process,
Mm-hmm.
and to give the family caregivers some free time. Like usually I came once a week,
Mm-hmm.
and then for like 4 hours, half a day, they could just do something and just get out of this stressful taken care situation. And in those 4 years, I met so many family caregivers who were totally overwhelmed with emotions, obviously, that's one thing, but also organizationally, financially, just they didn't know what to do. And I always thought there must be ways to help those people. There must also be digital ways to help those people. Like, not obviously, if you have more hands, if you have more people helping, more volunteers, then that helps. But there must be also like some scalable way of helping them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found a team of people in Munich who actually worked on a similar idea, and then we joined forces. And then end of 2018, I've started this new company where we work on a digital solution to help family caregivers.